Hi everyone, it's Wayne from Crawlstock RC here. I hope everybody's okay and keeping well during these tough times. I've been building a few models throughout the COVID time, and I've been quite lucky that friends have asked me to help them out as well, so that's kept me busy. But you know, I thought it was about time that I got onto another model. So not my usual thing, but this time I thought I would get something different from a different brand as well. I'm usually a bit of a Traxxas man. I like the build quality, I like the available spares, etc. But this time I've gone for something sort of completely out of my comfort zone, really. So before we go any further, let's have a quick look in the box, shall we? So well-known manufacturers and distributors did me a really good service, so did me a price match as well, which I was quite pleased with. So let's have a look what we got. Well, there we go, guys. It is the Axial Capra, more of a sort of rock racer type style. The good thing about this nowadays, let's get it out of the box, is that obviously they now come with the portal axles, which is really popular. I don't know what the build quality is like yet. There's been really good reviews so far, so hopefully it's going to be good. I know there's a couple of bits that people are picking holes in. But hopefully with my engineering background I might be able to iron out those as well, and make this a really good and really reliable machine. I've downloaded the online version of the manual, which is apparently there was a mistake made in inserting one of the bearings in the axles, so hopefully I won't get caught out there, and I'm really looking forward to building this. It's going to be fairly simple as they go, because I don't think there's millions of bits. Certainly the smallest box I've ever had, because obviously you're not catering for a body shell, and I can't wait to get it done. A couple of bits that I've bought for it have arrived as well. So I've bought a Servo. I'm sure a lot of you have used these before. I've got one in my Unimog that I've just built. Some of you might have seen that. It's HV approved, so it's 7.4 volt. I'm going to probably run this on 3S, which I don't normally do. I normally run 2S, so it'd be interesting to see how that goes. Anyone interested, this is the SW1210SG, and it's available for about £65 in the UK. I don't know what that is in dollars, but I'm sure you guys can work it out. I also have a Hobby Wing 1080 speed control, which I've used in a few models now. I did think about going down the Hobby Wing axe route, but I wanted to keep the budget down on this a little bit to start with. So obviously this is one of the good ways to go for that. I have a Holmes Hobby motor coming for it. That's hopefully in the post, and that will be with me in the next couple of days. And I've also bought, because this has got a dig function on the back axle, a micro servo from Power HD. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to be using Spectrum transmitter and receiver, because I use that on all of my models. I just buy extra receivers, and that way it makes it easy. You've got one handset, it's got plenty of functions, it's a 5-channel system, which is more than enough for this at the moment. So let's get into the box and let's have a look through it. Well, when I said there really wasn't a lot in the box, there really isn't a lot in the box. It is definitely the smallest kit form of model that I've ever seen. Probably since an Airfix kit that I did many years ago. So let's have a quick look through. So we have, this is obviously an exoskeletal type cage for this model. So there it looks like we've got the two sides, and they incorporate like a skid plate in there as well, which is good for sliding over the rocks, which is excellent. We've got the panels, which are clear panels, which is good because I've got a colour scheme in mind that I'm going to go with. There's a few screws and some tabbed body clips in there as well. We've got quite a big bag here. I think this is the remainder of the cage. You've got things like there's a fuel cell that you can have at the back, which I think houses the receiver and the speed control, so that'll keep that nice and tidy and nice and waterproof. And we've got the front end, the sort of the bumper bar, bull bar sort of thing, and we should be able to put a lighting kit in this as well, which should look quite nice. The nice axle casings, definitely these look much better than any axial model that I've had before, and I've had SCX 10 1s and 2s. Nicely made. Do you know what I actually like? That they're quite simple inside as well. They haven't overdone it. They haven't bothered with the, like the diff locks and all that sort of thing, which is great. And I know that there's some excellent upgrades for these as well, so that's something I look forward to in the future. Stainless steel rods. There's some real weight in those as well, which is good because they're going to be nice and low down. So it'd be interesting to see if we can get this nice and low across the rocks, which is definitely going to help it crawl. This doesn't come with tyres. It obviously doesn't come with foams either. I have a set of Proline high racks that I'm going to be trying on it, which will be interesting to give it a go. And a nice set of bead locks actually, considering they're plastic. So I might even run with those for a little while. We'll see how they go. Give them a lick of paint. They'll probably look quite good. Another axle. This is the front axle. You can see the steering section on there. And it looks like you get your grease and a bit of Loctite or something in there as well. Again, there's quite a bit of weight in there considering that's a plastic axle. Got a bag with the drive shafts in there. These look a lot more like the TRX ones, which I really am a fan of the TRX prop shafts. Find them really hard wearing. I've actually modified them to run on several of my models now. And touch wood, I've never had one go wrong, so I'm quite pleased about that. And this is a nice heavy bag with lots of gears in it. Looks like it's going to be our gearbox and transmission, so that's going to take quite a bit of building, which is good. I'm looking forward to that. And last but not least, shock absorbers. Again, these look quite TRX like. And got 35 weight oil in there. Drop me a comment below and tell me if you've changed the spring ratio or if you've changed the oil from standard to get improved shock absorbing from these. So yeah, that's it. Other than the instruction manual, which I've been told to avoid because there's a mistake in it. Oh, and you've got some nice stickers as well, so I look forward to putting all those on afterwards. And that's it really. So there's only one thing left to do, and that's to get on with building it. Well, we have the front axle built up. It's the first part of the instructions. I have to say, I don't think it's quite the quality of a TRX4. Plastic seems okay, but on the front swivels, on the hubs, there's no bushes. So even with the screws done up and then backed off, there is resistance, and over time, obviously the metal against plastic is going to wear. But we'll see how it goes. There is a tight spot as well within the gears, but I suppose that that's going to take a little bit of wearing in as well. And even though everything is nicely greased, still seems quite noisy. But like I say, it's brand new. It's probably going to take a little bit of wearing in. But that's it. It's the first Curry axle built up with the hubs on as well. Well, that's the back axle done. Again, quality is not quite there of a TRX. Just when you click things together, take a little bit more force than TRX, and the screws, when you do the screw up, doesn't quite feel like it's gone home. I don't mean to keep comparing to a TRX, but these are on the price bracket with a TRX Sport, which is probably what I'm comparing, and I know the TRX quite well, so apologies if that's annoying anybody. The other thing as well with the back axle, those that have built one of these, it does appear that there's a bearing missing, or a position for a bearing where there isn't a bearing that goes. I think that's where the paper manual was confusing, so people have opted to use the online manual, which I believe has been updated. And another strange thing is that the end of the half shaft, or what I would call the half shaft, what goes from the diff to the hub at the end, to the portal hub, is square, and it goes into a round bearing. So I'm not sure what the longevity of that's going to be, but we'll just have to wait and see. If anybody's had any experience with that, please comment below. But that will be interesting to see how they go. But the gears are cut nicely. We'll see how they go as well. And yeah, so that's the back axle all done. Okay, so I'm just getting to building up the shock absorbers, and I found that the ball joints at the end have no threading, and to be able to hold them and thread them is quite difficult. I have got proper pliers for holding these shock absorber shafts, but one little tip that I've got, if you get a drill with a 3mm bottoming tap in, and then you can just slowly run it up and then down, just put a little bit of thread in there, and then when you wind it on, obviously it will grip onto the thread better, but it will make it a lot easier for you to get on there in the first place. Okay, hi guys, just a little update on the build. It's gone really well. I managed to get the axles together last night, and today I've been doing the putting the shock absorbers on and the links, putting the links together. A couple of things I've found. One which is quite good, which I like, is that anybody that knows proper cars knows that whenever you have a suspension link, you normally have a left hand thread one end and a right hand the other end, so that they're adjustable. So that's good. So obviously you can true it up properly. Again, I've struggled with the plastic a little bit this morning, trying to get the screws in. It takes quite a bit of force to get the screw in, and sometimes when the screw starts you have to keep quite a bit of pressure on it to keep the screw going in, but hey ho, they're in, and you know, all being well, they're going to be okay. The ball joints are quite tight. I'm hoping that they free up fairly quickly, because obviously that's going to restrict suspension travel and movement. I've opted for the Savox SW1210SG servo for the front. It's got about 35 kilos of force running on a 3S, which is going to be good. But another couple of things that I've noticed with the servo is, thank you Lord Savox for putting a decent length cable on for a change. This thing's got to be, I don't know, it's easily a foot long, which is brilliant. They're normally about 20 centimeters, and they're usually about 5 centimeters too short to get to your receiver box, which annoys me a little bit. So you always end up having to either cut the wire and join it, or put a extension on. And the other thing is, for a change, they've also included some decent mounting screws. Now the ones that came with the model are very similar, but in my opinion not quite long enough. So I've used the Savox ones, which were probably about 12mm long in comparison to 10. So all the extra length screwed into the mount is going to be good. I think probably one of the first things I'm going to upgrade is that steering servo mount, because it's, even though I've done it up quite tight, there's quite a bit of flex in it. But you know, again, we'll see how it goes. Cheers guys. Cheers. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you found it informative, and hope you like the end result of my Axial Capra. Please like and subscribe and keep up to date with my new videos.